This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I am your host, Joanne Crone. Hello, my Lolas. How are you doing today? I want to talk with you about something that I think will benefit you greatly in 2026, and that is making a courage goal. Now, a courage goal doesn't mean you're getting anything done per se. And if that scares you a little bit, stay with me because this is really, really important to get the life you want, to get the calm you want, to calm the chaos all around you, to stop feeling like you are reacting to everybody else's circumstances and you have no time for yourself. This is essential. This is essential. So let's get on with the show. So you know that moment where you look at your life and everything looks fine on paper. Your kids are healthy, your partner is healthy, you're healthy. You may not be exactly where you want to be, but life is pretty good. It may be a little bit chaotic. You may be running back and forth to kids' appointments, and maybe you feel like something's a little flat, like you're missing something. Maybe it's more time for yourself. Maybe you want like just an hour at the end of every evening to decompress. And when you get to that end of the day, the only thing you could do is scroll on your phone because that's all you have energy for. Maybe you're like me and you get to the point where if someone else is telling you and dictating your whole day, you are like, you can't tell me what to do, including yourself. If you set something else to do during that time, like you're like, oh, I'm going to, I don't know, watercolor, or I'm going to read a book. It's like at that point, even you can't tell you what to do. You just go to the mindless scrolling. If that's like you are in the right place. I have been there. And in January, so often we feel that pressure to really make our new goals, to create this new life, to make those New Year's resolutions. But it's hard because maybe you feel that January goal setting hasn't really worked for you, or you've tried the whole New Year thing in the past and you've been interested for a few days and then everything went back to the way it was, with a heavy pile of shame and guilt because you didn't follow through on what you said you were going to follow through. And I try to like do these goal setting things, or at least think of vision boards in my house. And my daughter very much into it, makes her own vision board, really thinks out like how she wants her year to look, how intentional she wants to be. And I like to do the same. My husband and my son are like, no, it doesn't work for us, because they see that there's nothing special about January 1st. It is just another calendar day. The calendar has just changed to a new month. And that's totally okay to think of it that way. I mean, that's a very no pressure way to think about it. But I think that the beginning of the year really presents a new opportunity to sit down and do that thinking. Because if that thinking doesn't happen anytime else during the year, you'll find that you go through your life just kind of going through the actions, seeing what comes up, being reactive, not being able to really be intentional or put those things that you find fun. And when I talk to moms, usually the kinds of goals that moms make fall into 3 areas. And tell me if you fall into one of these 3 areas with your goals. It's either to fix something, to manage something, or to optimize something. So like fixing, for instance, maybe it's your child's behavior, or maybe it's an actual physical thing you want to fix, like your water heater, or save up for new air conditioning units. For managing, it's like you want to manage your time better. You want to manage your exercise better. And for optimizing, it's thinking, okay, we're cooking once a night during the week. Maybe we can cook 2 nights a week during the week and save a bit of money. You have no idea how many times I hear the decluttering goal. And I want to just bring this up to you right now. And I don't want to say there's anything wrong with decluttering. It's a great thing. In fact, loads of clutter all around you has been shown to increase your cortisol levels, increasing your stress. Just seeing the clutter increases your stress. So there's nothing wrong with decluttering. It's great. The only thing I want you to shy away from with decluttering is if this decluttering goal takes precedent over every other goal and you still put it off and it doesn't get done. Like if you've had decluttering on your list for a while, I really want you to give yourself the permission to just put decluttering to the side. Just put it to the side. It's going to be waiting there for you, right? Like right where you left it. Nothing's going to happen to it, but just put it through the side and go through this process with me about creating a goal that actually serves your joy and serves your fun. Because sometimes a goal isn't about doing more. It's letting yourself matter again, giving yourself that gift of fun and joy. So I want you to ask yourself the question right now, what's something that you've wanted but felt silly or selfish wanting? Because I'm going to share mine with you. I recently, and I say recently, if I did this 2 to 3 months ago, I signed up for improv classes. And I did that because I saw my sister-in-law taking these improv classes and she was having a blast. Like she would invite us to her shows. She still does improv. She has made all of these new friends in improv. She has this renewed self-confidence that I can see in her day to day. And me being a former theater kid, I was in theater through high school in a bunch of productions. I was actually a theater major when I started in college, and I switched to broadcast journalism about a year in because I wanted to be realistic with my future. I didn't want my future profession to be in the hands of so many people who could just reject me and I have no control because, of course, if you act, you are really under the mercy of the director or the producer casting. They're looking for a specific thing. If you're not it, you're not it. And I didn't want that. And so I switched away from it, always loving the theater. And then, I got my first job, kids came. I didn't think I could realistically go back. Like I've always had that in the back of my mind. I'm like, maybe I'll go audition for a theater production, even though every single theater production around me requires singing. Guys, I'm not a singer. I've never been a singer. I could like karaoke. I'm going to hit some wrong notes. I'm going to be out of tune. Like me and singing, it's not my favorite thing to do in the world, but I love to talk and I love to act and I love to be emotional and characters. And so I'm like wondering, how could I bring that back in a way that actually works for me? And these improv classes were just once a week, Monday nights, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I'm like, that's not too big of an ask. I think that I can make this a pretty easy thing for me to do. And of course, going in, I was super, super terrified, I'm 44 and I thought that everybody there would be younger than me. It would be all like people just out of college. Spoiler, it's not. Like our cohort, the ages range from 25 to like early 60s. It's really a variety of ages. So I didn't have to be afraid there. And then I was afraid that like everybody would look down on me and I wouldn't fit in. Like all of these things you might be convincing yourself right now about this thing that you want. Like these were the things that were holding me back. And then the third thing was this capacity goal. And there's going to be a podcast episode next week with Diane Pagano. And I talk with her about this and she totally flips it on its head. So I'm not going to give you a spoiler for that. Just know that please go listen to that episode. It's going to air next Tuesday, the 13th with Diane Pagano. And you'll see how she kind of calls me out on the third fear I had about my capacity. But all of these things were playing a part. And the only thing that I had control of was just signing up and doing it. There's something with courage where courage does not mean that you have the confidence to do it. It does not mean that you know everything will work out. Courage is just the ability to take that next step, to sign up, to try it, to possibly fail. And the thing with this goal is that there was no productivity attached to it at all. There was nothing I wanted to accomplish. I just wanted to have fun. I just wanted to maybe meet some friends. I didn't really know what was in store for me. Like, I didn't do it to become better at improv. I did it. I mean, looking back, I did it because improv scared me, and I don't really like seeing things, like seeing people on stage and be scared of doing it. Like, I want to learn the know-how behind it, it's just my personality. And I did it because I wanted to feel more present in my body. On our very first night in class, the teacher all asked us, we went around the circle and we said why we wanted to be in improv. And a lot of those answers were because I want to get out of my own head. I want to stop talking myself out of things. I want to be more alive and be more present in the moment. Like, it was a courage goal for so many people in my class. And that's what I want you to look for in these courage goals. Now, when we come back, we're going to talk about that guilt you might have about experiencing joy without any productivity attached. I've been thinking about 2026, and one of my big goals is finally starting a real travel fund, like not just a maybe someday fund or like book the vacation and then hope you have all the money to pay for it, but one that actually makes the trip happen, because I don't want money stress deciding what we say yes to anymore. Managing your money doesn't have to be a struggle this year. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts and investments, net worth, and future planning together in one dashboard on your laptop or phone. Start your new year on the right foot financially and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with code NOGUILT. And let's be real, typically New Year's resolutions don't last past February, because when you make them, there's usually wishes. You make wishes, but there's no solid plan. Monarch helps you set realistic financial goals based on your actual life. In fact, in a 2025 survey, Monarch helped users save over $200 per month on average after joining. This new year, achieve your financial goals for good. Monarch is the all-in-one tool that makes proactive money management simple all year long. Use code NOGUILT at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code NOGUILT. Whenever I think about meal planning, I feel this wave of anxiety because just the thought of sitting down to do it takes so much time and brain space, like deciding what I want to eat, what my kids will eat, how to make everyone happy, and somehow still get more fruits and vegetables on the table. It's exhausting for me before I even step into the kitchen. That's why Hungry Root has been such a game changer for me. Hungry Root is honestly the easiest way to eat healthy because it does all the thinking for you. It works like a personal nutrition coach and a grocery shopper all in one. You take this quick quiz and tell Hungry Root your preferences. I answered questions like what proteins I like, what flavors I like, what foods I don't like, and especially like I'm thinking of my kids there too, and also how you like to cook. And then Hungry Root builds this entire meal plan and sends it straight to your door. And the meals range from super simple, like these quick microwave options, to chef-inspired recipes that feel elevated but are still easy to make. It makes everyone happy. Most importantly, me. It makes me happy. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/NGM and use code NGM. That's hungryroot.com/NGM, code NGM to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. The start of a new year always gets me thinking about what I want for myself and what I want for my family. I ask myself the question, how do we set everyone up for success? And for a lot of parents that I know, that question comes up most around school. Maybe your child needs more flexibility. Maybe they learn better at their own pace. And that's why I want to tell you about K-12 powered schools. K-12 powered schools are tuition free. They're online and they're accredited public schools for kindergarten through 12th grade. And what I love most is that they're designed to meet kids where they are. With K-12, your child gets the support they need through a tailored curriculum. They also use hands-on innovative technology to make learning interactive. As a former teacher, I can tell you how important that is. K-12 has more than 25 years of experience helping students build real skills, grow in confidence, and thrive with flexibility and personalized learning. If you're rethinking what school could look like for your child this year, K-12 powered schools are absolutely worth exploring. Join the more than 3 million families who have been served by K-12 and empower your student to reach their full potential now. You can make the switch at any time. Go to k12.com/ngm today to learn more. That's the letter K, the number 12.com/NGM. K12.com/NGM. Right after this. So before the break, I told you a little bit about my courage goal, this joining improv. And I'm recording this the day after we've had our improv showcase as a cohort. And I have to tell you, it has been one of the most fun experiences of my entire life, and I'm continuing with it as well. Like there's a little break and then our cohort gets to stay together and start improv 102. Like we've passed 101. Now we're in improv 102. But there could be this guilt around going after something that just gives you joy. Because a lot of moms, and I think people in general, are conditioned to justify your joy. Like, do you feel that right now? Like you have a hard time doing something just for fun. It's like if you go to the park with your kids, it's not just for fun. It's because I'll get a workout with my kids, because I need to spend this time connecting with them and giving them one-on-one time, because, you know, the park will help them with their gross motor abilities. Like all of these things that we do and we attach to like these events that are supposed to be fun in our lives. I mean, I've done it too. I was a mountain biking coach for my son's team, and during the season, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this to get in better shape, and I'm doing this to be a role model to other people and other kids, and I want to show my son that I support him. Like fun wasn't even mentioned. I was like, oh yeah, they'll be fun too, but it wasn't a primary goal. And so a lot of times when we look at goals such as this, joy, we ask ourselves these questions. Is it useful, or does it help my family, or will it pay off in the long run? Like, are you asking yourself these questions as well? Because guilt often shows up as this hesitation, like not an actual refusal, but it's in that hesitation that we get stuck. We start questioning, oh my gosh, maybe I shouldn't do this. Or, you know, maybe I shouldn't be spending all this time learning watercolors. Maybe I shouldn't be devoting my time to writing a book because it'll never get published and no one will ever pay for it. And I'll never get an agent. Like, we could justify every single thing that we do, and we can hesitate and hesitate and hesitate, and then it never happens because we've been taught that joy has to earn its place. I mean, how depressing is that? Joy has to earn its place. When we were little kids, we didn't have to justify our joy. We just went and we had fun. Like that was my only goal on weekends. I'm like, I just want to have fun. I'm going to call my friends. I'm going to like see if they can play. We're just going to have fun. Like there was nothing else. And I don't know how we transitioned into adulthood, probably because all of the well-meaning adults in our lives are like, have to prepare you for the real world. How does it happen? How does it happen? But I want you to be able to reclaim your joy. I don't want you to have to hesitate and figure out a way to justify it. So I ask you, what do you tell yourself that you'll do someday? You'll do it someday when life gets calmer, when the kids go off to college, when you're not so busy, when things aren't so crazy. I bet you can think of something right now that you're saying that. I know a lot of our No Guilt Mom circle and inner circle members, they say like stuff like this all the time. Many want to go back to an instrument that they used to play when they were younger, piano, guitar, flute. And they tell themselves, you know what, I just don't have the time right now. I can't justify taking that time out of my life. And I want to push you to consider that a little bit more about whether you have that time, because here is what will happen once you make that time in your life. The first thing is that you remember how to be new again. You know, it's so interesting. I do not view getting older as getting older. I don't think that people get older if they still act like they're young. And what I mean by that is that being old is a mentality. Like being old is like accepting things the way they are and just being like, that's how it is. And oh, back in my day, or things I've heard lately, kids should learn how to discipline their children. All of these judgments and stuff that we could have on younger generations, I think that's old behavior. I really do. And when I say old behavior, I'm like, that's the act of being old. When you remember how to be new, things are exciting. It's not the judgment that you focus on. It's the possibility and the opportunity and seeing how something could be fun and enjoyable and energetic and relaxing. Oh my gosh, let me check you on this thing right here. Because one thing that I have seen a lot of people do when they're thinking about doing something like a courage goal, doing something just for them, is that they don't have the energy for it. And I have to say that's quote unquote old thinking, because when you do something like this, you gain the energy from it. Like, it's not like you find it, you gain it. Like, it gives you back in energy what you give to it in courage. Another thing that happens is that you feel seen outside your roles as mom or partner, wife, coworker. I have to say, last night after my improv performance, my kids and my husband actually got to see me on stage performing for the very first time. The very first time, like something that was so inherently a part of me growing up, where I would be in plays and I would be performing all the time. I haven't done that since I met my husband for like 25 years. That is crazy. It's crazy. And in that time on stage, I felt totally outside my role as a mom and as a wife. I was Joe again. I was a person. And I was there having fun. It's like you remember how to be before you got into these roles where society says you have to be a certain way. Another thing that's going to happen is if you choose something new, you're going into it as a complete beginner. And that is such a gift because you stop worrying about doing it right or even doing it well. That's something that happened to me with improv. I really don't care if I'm good at it. I don't like to make people laugh. It is definitely a dopamine hit when I make people laugh and I'm on stage, but I know I'm not good at it, not to be down on myself, but I've only been doing it for 2 to 3 months. So I don't expect to be good at it. The only thing I expect of myself is I am practicing being present and enjoying it and working through the problems and co-creating with my teammates on stage. Because some other gifts that I got from this experience is I got to be vulnerable with other people at the same time that they were being vulnerable with me. I mean, I'm one of those people who I was so shy and couldn't look people in the eyes. Through this past 2 months, I can connect with people because in improv, you need to be tuned in with your scene partners. You have to notice what they're doing. You have to see them. And to do that frequently requires eye contact, and it requires noticing their movements, and it requires noticing like the expressions on their faces. And it's such an amazing way to practice being present. Another thing is I just belonged automatically with my team. I didn't have to prove anything. I think it's part of the joy of theater, especially when you're in a theater group that has a culture of acceptance. Like theater has such great acceptance. I have to recommend theater to every single person because if you are in a great theater community, they will accept you. They will lift you up. They will tell you how wonderful you are and just raise you higher and higher. They will point out all those little things where they're like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. You did that. And you do the same for them. So experiencing that was definitely an unforeseen benefit of going through improv and doing this. Like I didn't feel impressive doing it. I'm not impressive doing improv, but I felt I felt like I belonged, and I feel like I have a new group. And that's really a great thing to feel. So right after this, we're going to talk about those values-based goals versus those outcome-based goals to really help you dial in on what you want your courage goal to be.
This podcast is supported by MIDI Health. Are you in midlife, feeling dismissed, unheard, or just plain tired of the old healthcare system? You're not alone. In fact, even today, 75% of women seeking care for menopause and perimenopause issues are left entirely untreated. But it's time for a change. It's time for MIDI. MIDI's not just a healthcare provider. It's a women's telehealth clinic founded and supported by world-class leaders in women's health. Their clinicians provide one-on-one, face-to-face consultations where they truly listen to your unique needs. They offer a full range of holistic, data-driven solutions that isn't one-size-fits-all care. This is care uniquely tailored for you. At MIDI, you will find that their mission is clear: to help all women thrive in midlife, giving them access to the healthcare they deserve. Because they believe midlife isn't the middle at all. It is the beginning of your second act. Ready to feel your best and write your second act script? Visit joinmidi.com today to book your personalized, insurance-covered virtual visit. That's joinmidi.com. MIDI, the care women deserve.
DSW, Designer Shoe Warehouse, is the one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. With sneakers, boots, and everything in between for every style, mood, and occasion, you'll definitely find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. DSW has what you need, but more importantly, they have what you didn't even know you wanted. You never know what you'll find at DSW. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or DSW.com.
Why do growing businesses love working in Slack? Let's ask Christy at RE Bikes.
Running things in Slack saves me so much time.
AI summaries save 97 minutes per week. What say you, Rox from Gosney?
Slack helps us build community, it helps us build connection.
Your partners, vendors and customers all in one place. Take us on home, Ashley from Caraway.
If we didn't have Slack tomorrow, I would explode.
Well, let's not let that happen. Visit slack.com/podcast to get 50% off Slack Business Plus.
Okay, so now I hope I've convinced you to find one of these courage-based goals. I hope you're excited. I hope you're a little nervous and scared. And I hope you kind of have an inkling in your mind of exactly what you want to pursue and do. But I want to differentiate between these two types of goals: the outcome-based goals versus the values-based goals. An outcome-based goal is really asking, what will I achieve? It's like the SMART goals. Oh, I'm going to write a book. Oh, I'm going to read like 100 books this year. Like those are outcome-based goals. But a values-based goals is, how do I want to feel? Who do I want to be? In the No Guilt Mom Inner Circle, we do this thing called a values assessment. And it's where you go through a list of all these values and you decide if that value is really important to you, if it's just a little important, or if it's not important at all. And you take this list of 100 or so values and scrunch it down to just 5. By doing that, you can really see what's important to you versus what society is kind of telling you what you should be. For example, I always like to use the value of thrift because I think I need to go shop around for the best deal on something before buying something. And I think it's the biggest pain in the butt. So much so that I will not even buy something like a new bra where I very much need it because I'm worried that I should be getting a better deal somewhere else. And going through the values exercise, it made me realize that thrift is not a value for me. What are my values are connection, adventure, and growth, just to name a few. And so when I knew those values, I could really pick my next activity as to what I wanted to pour my time into. And improv fit all of those: adventure, connection, growth, all of those things. And I want to say that also improv, it wasn't joyful all the time. I think that when you're trying to do this goal, you might think, oh, but will it really make me happy? And I want to tell you that's probably the wrong question to ask, because joy does not mean happiness every single moment. With this improv class, I had to commit to these 8 classes for 2 hours every Monday. And you better believe, like, some Mondays I was pretty tired and I did not want to go. I basically had to encourage myself by saying, okay, Joanne, just go, just get in the car. Okay, now just drive to the place and, figure it out then. Figure it out when you get there. Okay, just walk in the door. And then once I walked in the door, I'm like, okay, I'm here. So a lot of times my own energy really worked against me. And I wasn't happy every single moment. I wasn't happy every single moment when I felt uncomfortable doing a new exercise in improv, but I was always proud after I did it. I was always proud about trying something totally new, something that feels completely foreign. And that's what I want you to focus on when you do this courage-based goal. Find something that's going to make you proud. Find something that is going to help you feel more alive and that makes you curious to learn more, to learn the steps behind it, to learn how to improve it. And when you do that, and when you think about that, what are you curious about? What do you want to learn how to do differently? What do you want to experience? When you ask yourself those questions, how does your goal for 2026 differ? Do you still want to declutter? I ask you this seriously. I'm like, can you feel my animosity towards decluttering as a goal? I've just heard, I've seen it trip up so many people and stop them from thinking bigger than they can go. Because one of the biggest downfalls I think we do to ourselves is we think in reality. And I'm not saying that improv is not reality. It is something very possible, but we don't give ourselves the space to actually dream and have fun. And that's something that I want you to give yourself this year. Give yourself the space to dream and have fun and enjoy it. So I want to hear exactly what you're thinking for your courage goal this year. Now, earlier this week in the No Guilt Mom Circle and Inner Circle, we did a workshop about vision boards. And vision boards are important because we didn't do it on the outcome-based goals. It was all about the values-based goals. It's how do you want to feel in the morning? How do you want to feel during the day? How do you want to feel at the end of the day? And sometimes doing it together, and I would say not even sometimes doing it together, all the time doing it together is going to motivate you so much more than doing it alone. Because not only do you have other people to encourage you, but you also have other people to steal ideas from. And I say that totally meaning it. Vision boards are open source. It's not like you look at someone else's idea and you're like, I can't put that on my board because they have it on their board. No, steal it. Your inspiration is free. It's open source. If you're just putting that on your vision board to inspire you, there is nothing stopping you. So when you do it with others and when you get to see what they have on their boards, you're really given more ideas for what's possible in your life. And so I want you to invite you to join our No Guilt Mom Circle. It is, there's a link right in the show notes. Every month we do workshops like this, and you will also have this community of like-minded moms to lift you up and help you move forward and keep going and support you. And you get me there who has your back as well. Because when you have somebody who stands behind you and raises you up, you feel safe and you feel supported. Last night at the showcase, right before we went on stage, we went to each other and we looked each other in the eye and tapped each other on the back and said, I've got your back. We did that with every single person. I've got your back. because in improv, it's not just about you on stage. It's also about your partner, being able to co-create with your partner, being there for your partner, not letting your partner stumble. And that creates a very, very safe space. And that's the same space that we have in the No Guilt Mom Circle. So here is my kind of assignment for you. I want you to choose just one courage goal this year. Just one thing that is going to make you step out of your comfort zone and try something new. And there's no justification required. Like something people asked me when I did improv, they're like, oh, did you do it to have more stage presence or improve your speaking? And I'm like, no, not really. I just did it to have fun. And that's what I want your goal to be too. And you don't have to decide today, but make sure you're listening, just listening and seeing what kind of pulls you forward. What do you really want to try? And if you can, I would love to hear what your goal is. You can DM me on Instagram at No Guilt Mom, and I will so respond to you and cheer you on. And I have your back. So remember, the best mom is a happy mom. Take care of you. I'll talk with you later.